What up, Ho Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again, here with my husband. So I have learned that as an adult, the things that you get excited about change, right?
Right. Yeah.
So like when I was younger, and I used to get excited for Black Friday because I knew that's when my mom would buy I was gonna say would buy all my toys. Let's be real. She would buy my books, okay? My parents didn't buy me toys because I was
old sweaters.
I didn't like toys. I liked books, right? Okay. And then when I was like a teenager to like when I was, younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like mid-20s, I used to get really excited about Black Friday because the clothes and the electronics,
right?
All that shit would go on sale and it'd be fantastic. You know what I got excited about this year? Stoves.
Yeah.
They put stoves on sale.
A nice ass stove. But it's fucking
so
voice activated, Wi-Fi enabled. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know, but I want one.
I can turn it on with my phone. I can turn it on with my phone.
Siri, preheat. What the fuck?
So that just be ready for that. As you get older, the things are gonna change, bro.
It was a good sale finally, too. We've been waiting for years.
Today, we are here for an internet historian vid he has released again on his incognito mode channel.
Isn't that some shit that we released a video?
And then he released a video.
Literally the same day. Like hours after the one went up on my channel, he posted one.
So then, of course, all of the comments were, Internet Historian just released a video.
Hey guys, haven't seen this one yet, but Internet Historian has uploaded. I thought this was that.
Oh my God.
Space!
Concept of space is almost as terrifying to me as a concept of being inside of a whale's stomach.
What the fuck is wrong with you? This is what it's like to talk to flat earthers, isn't it? Took a class. And we studied space.
Right.
There was a lot of math involved.
Right.
And the numbers got so large at some point, I thought, is this my penis? No, the numbers got so big at one point, I thought, did somebody just make this shit up and it's so crazy we just stopped arguing about it?
Right.
Because at a certain point, the theories are so absurd, it doesn't matter if it's true or not.
Right.
You're never going to affect that thing trillions of miles away from here. Literally.
At all.
Like, it's never going to happen.
At all.
We're studying the past. Like, mathematicians that do space, mathematicians that are historians, just as useless. They're doing nothing for us.
I'm excited to see what this video has in store for us. I don't know why my husband just randomly came for mathematicians like that.
It's true.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Never gonna touch it, never gonna suck it, never gonna fuck it. It's useless to me.
That's not going in the video.
Massage.
It's not going in the video.
In science.
Space. Space?
Yeah.
What is space? Why do I have to wear a spacesuit? That is so formal. Too cold? Not a problem. I'll just put on a jacket.
Nice.
Why does everyone say you can't go
That's
faster than the
perfect.
speed of light? It's super simple. You just go the speed of light,
It's Joker.
and then you push on the accelerator a little more. Oh no, not the sun. The water will put it out. Hey Alexa, play Who Let the Dogs Out.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't
Alexa,
do that.
play the thing.
Despacito
No.
remix.
Alexa,
Responsive
play
and
Who Let the
Daddy
Dog... Ah-ha-ha. Now I will be able to get all the best nudes. Yeah, you should have closed your curtains. Ooh, I
Jesus
wonder what's in there.
Christ.
Oh, hey, how you doing, little fella? Oh, I think he's just sleeping. Aha! I knew it was fake. The whole...
What are you looking? Oh, are you looking at the green screen? You know they can't see the green screen. I put a background behind us.
Just turn and look like, huh?
It's all Christmassy back there.
Makes sense now.
I think he's just sleeping. Aha! I knew it was fake the whole time. All this and more on this episode of In the...
Space shuttle. Oh.
Space.
Yes.
Space. What you know about space?
I like this guy.
What do not a lot.
Okay, let's start at the very beginning.
Oh.
Not the beginning of the universe.
Oh.
The beginning of how people thought space was.
Oh, yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, so the history of space.
Yeah, a lot of people died for it.
So we've got flat Earth, right? Now there's going to be a whole bunch of people in the comments that go, "Oh, actually, they've known that the Earth was round since the Greeks."
Yes,
we know,
that was me.
we know. Everybody knows. No one thinks you're smart. Shut up. But there were
Okay, all right, continue.
plenty of societies that did think that the world was flat. Okay, I saw this in a lecture once, or I overheard it on the bus or something. But this is how it goes. You've got like this circular flat Earth, right?
Yep.
And then you've got
Yeah.
land in the middle. They call this area the Mediterranean because that's the middle land, right? It's
Okay.
right in the center. And then past the land, you've got water. Now, all that water is mostly fine, but if you go a little further out, there's a lot more water, like a shitload more water. These disc maps you see are not to scale. It goes way further out.
Yeah.
But if you try to traverse them, what will happen is sea monsters.
Yeah.
Right? They'll destroy your ship.
Correct.
Easy. And you can tell that sea monsters are real because once in a while you get some weird thing that washes up to shore. If somehow you make it past the sea monsters, you encounter mud.
Just mud?
It's flat
Oh,
mud.
I've never heard that.
And it mixes with the land. So you can no longer pass by it in a boat. So you can try to walk across it, but
then you
it's
sink
basically
'cause
like
it's
quicksand.
mud,
You
yeah.
know, you just straight into it.
Really?
But somehow, if you manage to traverse this plain of mud,
Yeah.
which is even larger than the ocean itself,
Okay,
it would start to
Jesus.
get colder and colder. And eventually that mud becomes frozen, and then it turns to ice. And then it's
Okay.
just cold nothingness for far, far longer than all the oceans.
Okay.
And then eventually you come to a big mountain range. And this mountain range goes right round the earth. And it is the thing that at the very top holds up the filament, which is the thing that encompasses the stars.
Yeah.
So the mountains go up and then it like holds the star
Yeah.
canopy above
It
the
holds
earth.
up the heavens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, that sounds like some shit that somebody would make up, and you'd be like, I don't know why that's wrong, so it's right.
It's like that game they used to play in elementary school where
Yeah.
everybody has to hold up the big old parachute.
And you go, woo, this is how the world was made.
I never understood the point of that game, but I get it now.
That
It's
makes,
a holdover.
that makes everything so pagan-y, because then you also have the thing with the string.
Yeah.
Like you dance around the big pole, you know? So that's like part of, schooling. They're just like, this is real still.
Yeah.
Half of the model is there to dissuade people from trying to find new things,
Yeah.
right? Because if you go out on a boat in the ocean, you die. It's the perfect dissuasion. Hey, look, don't bother trying to discover Australia. If you go out there, you're going to get eaten, then you're going to sink in the mud, then you're going to freeze to death, and then there's also nothing out there. And
Yeah.
that's what keeps everyone safe and alive.
You tell the same story to your kid in the village to not go out into the woods.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing.
And that, circling around, is why they tell us not to go to Mars, you see. Don't come back.
I do think we'll colonize Mars. Probably not quite in our lifetime.
You reckon? I
yeah.
think we'll land a person there on Mars in 20 years.
20
years.
years.
Damn.
You're a dreamer, internet historian.
That's such a solid,
20 years.
anti-conspiracy.
Yeah.
The same way they dissuade us with this. Not only can you get to Mars, you can
Yeah.
get to fucking Jupiter. I like that a lot more than dissuading people to do things.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of the original impetus for the space race to the moon was out of competition with the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah.
Then we beat them and everyone went, nah, can't be bothered. Now we're back at war with China. So, I reckon space race back on.
Ooh.
Otherwise, China's going to stick a big flag in it and say, actually, you know what, Mars? It's always belonged to China.
Their flag would look better on Mars.
True.
Just saying.
It'll blend
looks
in
It'll
too
blend
much.
in.
It
That's what I
already
said,
looks
yeah.
like a flag
Absolutely.
for Mars. It's got stars on it and
Can't
it's
go
red.
red to red.
It's perfect.
I think it's great.
That's hard to argue with.
I say give it to them. And let's be real, a lot of people are probably going to die colonizing Mars, at first. They've got the manpower for it. Everyone will just be fighting over
That's so fucking
That's so dark.
It's like Space Race, the RTS. They can produce villagers faster, they get it.
the bit where everyone's landing. It's not like someone will be like, well, I'm going to go over to this part of Mars, and, that'll be my part. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay here where the Twinkies and the women arrive.
I think you'd want to sit up at the poles, because that's where all the ice is, right? Resources. But also, because of the rotation of the planet and the angle you come in, it's actually more...
What?
So, they're talking, right?
Yeah, they are. They're literally mid-sentence. What?
They're also using Mass Effect music.
You could have waited to say that, you nerd.
But it's specific Mass Effect music. It's not the doom 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 doom, which is like what a basic bitch person would use for this audio. He's what?
I'm waiting patiently to hear where this goes.
He's using specific music.
From what part of the game?
Well, sometimes it's when he's looking out over things, but usually it's when he's having conversations with people and they're kind of important.
How many times have you played Mass Effect?
All the way to...
Too many times is the answer, Skitten, to recognize conversation background music.
You don't hear it?
I'm going to back this up a little bit. And I'm going to listen to it. Also them talking, though.
Twinkies and the women arrive.
Think you'd want to sit up at the poles? Because that's where all the ice is, right? Resources. But also, because of the...
Fuck you, it is fucking...
It is. It is.
God.
It is.
Now I can't not hear it.
I was like, is that?
Okay, but he's making a good point about where to land on Mars if you're going to colonize. Get in space mode, not space fuck alien mode.
Okay, I'm focused.
There's no sex in this.
poles, because that's where all the ice is, right? Resources. But also, because of the rotation of the planet and the angle you come in, it's actually more difficult to land there as well.
See.
Genius.
So you would have to actually essentially approach by land. Easier to defend. So you're there on the ice, you've got all your water, and then you're just picking off anyone who dares to approach one of those Mars rovers. The Curiosity rovers, I would presume.
That would be super fun. So you're saying if you're going to fight for Mars, you'd stay at the top. This is mine.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, solid.
Build a big igloo, big ice wall, tell everyone to
Not
get the fuck
Game of
out.
Thrones.
It'd be awesome.
I love that, yeah.
What is this from, I wonder? This is iconic at this point.
Here's the problem. It's 1960s, NASA, and they can't figure out how to get things into space.
Tube computers.
It's too far up, you see. How do we get past the filament into the stars? Ordinary things, you're our best scientist. You gotta come up with something that'll get us there. What do you got? Ordinary rocket propulsion, perhaps? Mentos and Coke. What's the big new idea?
So this is what I've got so far.
Right?
A
man kneeling on the ground, praying to get to space. I like it. That's a great idea, Ordinary Things. Let me get you the funding right now.
No, not quite. This is a dog. See, my plan is...
A trebuchet.
No.
sort of a trebuchet, yeah.
Let me show you my idea. You've heard of CERN, right?
Yeah, they got the big underground thing.
What is this?
So CERN is...
They're about to explain it. I don't know exactly what CERN is, but I do know that a lot of fruity frou-frou people were like, turn off CERN, it's gonna kill people because radio waves or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's got radio waves. Let's do it.
It's basically a 25-kilometer ring underground, powered by gigantic magnets that send particles in one direction, getting them faster and faster and faster, and then they send particles in the other direction, and then eventually they let them collide.
Cool.
Now, what if you had an extra track
Yes.
that went like this? So you got something up to 99% the speed of light, and then you just hit the switch, and then capsule goes terminal velocity.
Love that. So you're thinking you build up as much momentum as possible on Earth using magnets rather than rockets.
Yep.
Is it the size of atoms in this instance? Or
We're going to have to build a bigger one.
All right, bigger CERN. Got it. All right, massive CERN.
Well, you just make the hole in the middle bigger.
Oh,
okay,
all right.
okay.
Yeah,
Atom-sized hole, too small. The only problem I can see is that we're sending people through the Earth's atmosphere at almost the speed of light. They will immediately explode. I think the solution is to put a dog in it.
Yeah.
That's what I was imagining. I was like, they would just fucking confetti. They would never launch. It would just like fucking like LeBron James before a basketball game. Or George St. Pierre when he spits the water up. Whatever tickles your fancy.
Do you know how funny it would be if it was like a Tuesday and the supervisor was out of the office for the day, and then he kind of came back, I just forgot some of my papers, and he comes in, and the guys at CERN all gathered around because they're firing grapefruit through CERN at a big cartoonish brick wall. Yeah, hello Dave, yeah.
I would love to be at the CERN Christmas party where someone's just like, yeah, man, I'm gonna do a shit in the CERN. That's what it's called, the CERN. I would find it very difficult not to get in the CERN machine, I think, if I was there.
You got on that blimp. Do you reckon you can get into CERN?
I reckon I could give it a go.
Alright, if there's anyone from CERN watching here,
Yeah.
my boy needs a ticket and one for his lady.
I'll email them now. People
Let
are
me
thinking
in the
about
CERN
space
machine.
travel all wrong. They're rubes, those guys at NASA, I tell you, rubes. They keep trying to send us to space when we should be sending space to us.
That's not a bad idea at all. Now,
Genius.
space elevator, very difficult.
Hey.
You build the thing 1,000 kilometers up, and then the tip of it is actually rotating faster than the base of it by differences in like hundreds of kilometers an hour. Tensile strength, whole thing wants to break apart, right? Now, if somehow you could make a big anchor, wait, how do you draw an anchor?
A big anchor.
Here, it wouldn't need to be one rope, because one rope is not going to stay strong.
2 ropes.
Here's 20 meters of rope, and then a big joint. Here's 20 meters of rope and a big joint. And you just do that all the way back to Earth.
Love it.
Okay, you'll need like 150,000 kilometers worth of rope.
I was going to say that's...
Once you're there, all of a sudden you can just pull things across it, right? What am I missing?
Look at this ridiculous.
There is one thing.
Yes.
I think the moon moves. So what you're going to end up doing is sort of like
wrapping the Earth up
round. That's the one problem. Otherwise, it's flawless.
I've got a solution.
Okay.
There's a rail across Earth.
Perfect.
Rail! Oh my god, that's a great
A
idea.
moon
That's way
rail.
better than what I was going to say.
Right? And then you've got your hook in here. It's allowed to slide through the rail.
God.
So in theory, we could like lasso the moon in.
Yeah.
Terrible
Bring
idea.
it to us. Are there any
saw that in
minerals on the
Despicable
moon
Me.
worth having? Any resources?
There is a fair amount of helium and also helium-3.
Well, we are running out of helium,
I was
so
gonna
that
say
is
we are.
convenient.
There's a
There's a
shortage.
pretty
That's
good
pretty
amount
true,
of
yeah.
water all over the moon too, so that's why, soon there'll be a moon
can
base,
flood the-
and they'll
flood
be
the
able
Earth.
to collect most of the minerals that they need.
Soon there'll be a moon base. They've been promising moon base for years. They've been promising moon base for longer than James Cameron's been promising Avatar. And honestly, sick of this shit.
Well, you know what I'm not sick of? Ad time.
Ad time.
How's
Alright.
this for a scenario? You're with your honey, and you both have regular size heads, but you have to share a headphone.
Oh my goodness Lord. Who is reviewing these ads? Jesus Christ, man.
Let's see if it works. Let's see if it... Hold on. Let's see. Oh, mine are already all the way up, so
Okay,
maybe
well,
we should
we're
use
not going
yours.
to... No, it's fine.
we
I
can
don't
do
want to
it.
break
We
my
can-
headphones.
We can do it. We can do it.
I've now considered the
Get
fact
your
I'd
face
rather
over
have...
here.
I'd rather not have my head explode.
No. Our heads won't explode. Okay,
There's
fine.
other things I want to do with you for the rest of my life. Being headless is not one of them.
The correct answer was to get Raycons.
Bitch.
Look, she's with someone new, and she's loving the up to 54 hours of battle life, and she can't stop putting them in her ears. The silky rubber finish is ribbed for her pleasure. All right, pub quiz, hotshot. It's Black Friday, and it's time to stomp some heads. You gotta win her back by getting her some kind of present. But you don't want to spend too much money, because she might have moved on. What do you do?
Well,
Get the Raycons. They're half the price of other premium brands, but still sound pretty good. Go to buyraycon.com/incognito to get them. Look, this guy loves them. All right, one final scenario.
Okay.
You're walking down the street,
Yeah.
and you see a homeless man, and he asks you for a donation. You've only got one thing on you that's of...
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
You know what's going there. You know, you absolutely know what's going
Don't
there.
fucking say it.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
any value. What do you do?
take advantage of the noise reduction?
Oh!
That's right. You have earned the good ending, where you can enjoy the premium sound of Raycons forever. We've got a computer here too, where you can go to buyraycon.com/incognito to get 20% off site-wide. Whoa, 30% off holiday bundles. Whoa, this really is.
Oh my god!
And free shipping to the United States.
Really now? What do you know about that? Nothing. You never been here.
Say you had a box and you put it on like a little satellite that
Okay.
you were going to send to an alien
Yeah.
planet.
Yeah.
Like, what items would you put in there to represent
That's
like
a great
human
question.
civilization?
Fireball.
The
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
you're,
What about you?
a book.
Okay, but which one? That's like a book is not a bad answer, but what book?
What book do you think?
Give me, come on.
What book do you think?
Come on, you tell me what book?
Twilight.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking at all. But like the whole series, like the box set of Twilight.
The whole thing plus Midnight Sun. The whole thing.
Okay, you gotta pick one thing. Let's see in the comments.
What would you
right?
send?
What would you say? Because you know what I think would be really a really good choice?
Jalapenos.
You know what I think would be a really good choice?
What?
Charizard holographic card. One of those in the rated boxes.
Okay.
I think that'd be a really, really good choice.
I think that's a good one.
Cause a ton of fucking confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Jalapenos just like feels right.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Are you just hungry?
No.
Okay. just double checking.
I'm trying to, but maybe I am hungry because okay, because if we're being honest, if we're being real, the very first thought I had when he was like, what do you pick? Nutella. Like it was the very first
finality, Nutella. First and last selection.
It was like Nutella. And I was like, no, it should be something not food. So then I was like, okay, Twilight.
I just feel like Fireball has like a very basic bitch, cover to it. You know what I mean? And then the flavor is just very much fad culture. Concoction of things that's just like, why would anybody ever enjoy this? And we fucking loved that thing for a time.
I like it. I think we have solid ideas. Let us know what yours are in the comments below.
Oh, yeah.
Good question. How big's a box?
Let's say it's the size of like a caravan.
Oh, big.
Perfect.
Okay, definitely a person then.
Okay, just like a dude, like a dead guy, or just
Yeah, they can be dead. That's fine.
That's not a bad idea. Like a dead guy who's like capped from oxygen so he doesn't rot. So they've got like a fully
I'll
preserved.
just keep him in a cardboard box. So,
Just dump it.
yes.
We don't have the budget for something bigger.
I like the idea that when they just open up the flaps of the cardboard box, ooh.
Oh my god.
I suppose you'd have a man and a woman.
Yeah.
A phone.
A phone,
Okay.
like an iPhone.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to give them the latest one because they don't know.
An iPhone 5 with a cracked screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not like they're going to start using it.
Exactly, yeah. Fuck it.
I'd probably get rid of just some trash. There's quite a lot of trash around.
And some batteries.
Yeah, because you can't dispose of batteries anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Bottle of Coke, full bottle. I kind of like the idea that you're... Okay, so when you're a pirate, right?
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I'm familiar.
Okay.
And you're burying
Sure.
treasure. Someone finds it 500 years later. And they
but it's
go,
just a bunch of
wow,
crap."
this is not just a historical find. I'm going to be rich.
Love that.
I like the idea that they find a couple of human corpses, but also half a dozen bottles of Coca-Cola. There's going to be some rich one who's like, bruh, yeah, I'll pay you 50 billion alien pesos for half a bottle.
I think that's the first actually really good suggestion for the alien box. I mean, fuck Coca-Cola, but it's also a very popular drink and a good
don't like
representation of Western
yeah.
society. It's
Yeah, it is.
everywhere in
It's
the
pretty
world. Great, and also they might be pleased. They're like, "Oh, this is a treat," or
Right.
maybe it'll kill them.
Yeah,
But
that's
great suggestion.
Thank you. Maybe also
Music, I reckon.
music.
Mozart on a vinyl.
Dude,
yeah.
that would be
Another
sick.
good one.
Also, it's easy to play vinyls. They can for sure figure out how to play music off of vinyl.
You know what song you have to put on there?
I just broke my wrist. That song's fucking iconic. There was a time, for people who are new, who may not be aware, I used to prank my wife because we kept our Bluetooth speaker in our bathroom. And anytime she went in the bathroom, I would play I Just Broke My Wrist by Little Pump. It's got a very obnoxious, bassy opening, and it's a garbage song. Oh, jeez.
I just broke my wrist. Johnny dang on my wrist.
Johnny! Oh, fuck.
A handgun?
Yeah,
Ow.
just to show them that we mean business
Got
would be
it.
good.
Yeah, well, we'll rig it up to a tripwire. Don't touch my stuff.
What the fuck?
Spacesuit.
All right, you're stuck in space. You're floating around.
Sweet.
Oh my god.
Loving it.
You're in a spacesuit. I come floating up to you. I go, ordinary things. Help. Help. My oxygen tank has been pierced. I'm gonna die.
Ooh. Oh, that
tape.
sucks for you.
No,
damn.
no, that's not what you say. Now, we've got just enough time. Quick, we can both survive, but we're gonna both have to get into the same spacesuit.
Oh, I've been tricked like this before.
So we have to both squeeze in there.
But he still does it. He's like, all right, now I've seen this before. I'm still going to save your life, but just now don't try anything suspicious this time.
The question is, are you taking the front or the back?
I'll take the front, I think. I'd rather be in the driver's seat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I trust you.
I swear, that's just my wallet, I swear.
It's not gay if it's on the moon.
Yeah, like legitimately, like you come back to Earth and they'll go, no, it wasn't. It's the moon. It doesn't count at all.
Doesn't count. No.
Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, they could have done it on the moon.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been considered gay. And then I suppose
We were lovers on the moon. You know, that's different.
someone shut this man up.
There's a book, a Halo book, where they spent a lot of time killing people in the vacuum of space.
Damn.
Like projectiling people into space,
That's
then
fucked
tumbling out of control until they die. There's one guy who went missing, and he was a part of like the group of like Spartans, and he died by having to like float out into space until he fucking died.
Right.
And they can hear him for like a long time till the mic goes out, and he's like shutting down his power so he could live for a long time.
Yeah.
He's like, come back and get me. They never do. Then they flash back and think about it over and over. And then like 3 books later, they bring it back up.
Why didn't they go get him?
They couldn't because the end of the fight and stuff. They had to crash and blow up all the ships and things. And it was a whole thing. But yeah, they like talk about it a lot. Like spend a lot of time being like.
Didn't we watch a movie where that happened?
That's the whole theme of the movie. It's not a fear I have because I don't ever imagine myself actually in space when something like that happens. But I could see people being
We've watched
really
several movies where that happens, actually.
It's pretty, like, claustrophobic, like, scared of the dark, being alone. Like, it's got a lot of phobias wrapped into one.
It's both claustrophobia and also the vast expanse of eternity.
Right? Feeling really small in a big space. I mean, it's got a ton of fears wrapped into one thing.
I would definitely have turned off my headset. Don't make me listen to that shit. That's fucked up. Oh God, I don't want to die. That's unfortunate.
You better come back for me, you son of a bitch. I'm gonna breathe slow.
So anyway, we're making freeze-dried spaghetti for dinner.
You son of a bitch, hey, I should back on the goddamn mic. I'm still floating. Hello.
Right, someone comes to you and says, ordinary things. You may see the universe, but we can't travel faster than the speed of light, so you have to go into the cryopod.
The old time delay.
Yeah. So you can go to Alpha Centauri, but it will take 100 years, and everyone you know will be dead.
Yeah.
Do you do it?
No.
I don't want to just be like launched into the equivalent of Mars in Alpha Centauri and just be like, well, I'm here and I'm dead. I'm fucked.
No, they don't just drop you off. You get to go on like a nice big ship. Maybe there's a nice lady there who's also frozen.
Nice little lady. A nice A-list celeb lady who is inexplicably an astronaut, as in all those movies.
Yeah, and you wake her up early, and because you woke up early, and
welcome. Whoopsie, but you don't have another choice, so you have to be my friend.
Would you do it? Would you want to be one of the crew that goes to Alpha Centauri?
No. I think I would. I think it's worth it to go do something that literally no one else has done before. I'm down.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Maverick? Are you serious?
If you were one of the first people to Alpha Centauri, you'd just have thousands of things named after you forever.
The whole planet. You get the planet. If you're the first one there, it's like, this is me land, baby.
Yeah.
I should have fucking said something. I knew they were going to want to just name shit. I didn't say anything about it because I wanted to hear their answer. But I was thinking, why else would Internet Historian want to fucking go somewhere like this? He's a YouTuber. You can barely go outside.
No governments. Money is banned. And I haven't thought this through.
You know, if you look at a place like Earth, every creek, every little nook or rock has a name to it. They did that like when people first came to Australia, and I can't help but notice that everything here is named either Murray or after Batman or
after Batman. Wait.
Yeah, you don't know about everything being called Batman here?
No, that's new to me.
What?
This guy, his name's like John Batman, and so there's like a Batman River and like a Batman street.
You're kidding.
In middle of Melbourne.
No way. John Batman. Oh my god, I'm looking him up now. What?
Oh!
Look, in the past, how long did it take for people to get from England to Australia? What was it like?
Oh, like a month.
Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I was about to say, guys.
It was a lot longer than a month.
Do you know how slow fucking ships are? Do you have any idea? If the wind doesn't blow, you don't move.
And they had to go all the way around.
Yeah, you had to follow the current.
Tip of Africa. And Africa's big.
You know how they figured out which way you had to go to get to places? Occasionally people would go somewhere and just not fucking come back. Where the currents just stop sometimes and you die.
Okay, how long does it take to get to Mars? At optimal speed, I think 9 months.
So what you're saying is that we should put all our criminals on Mars.
Hey, it worked once.
Did it, though?
How come Australia doesn't get a bit of a pass with a lot of its history?
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the terrible things that were done to the Aboriginals. But it's like, okay, but have you seen the average criminal reoffending rates? What did you expect?
My God.
Yeah, it's not like we sent them our best.
Oh my God.
It's like
Jesus.
it's like Con Air when the criminals finally take over. You're like, but they're criminals. That's what they do.
I've never thought about it like that, but that's honestly like a really decent argument for giving Australia a pass. But like,
Yeah, although it means they did all this stuff while they were out on probation.
Jesus Christ.
What's that fucking word that people always use in stupid ass arguments? Recidivism.
That's actually not a bad word. I'd listen. What are you gonna say? Come on, explain it to me.
Recidivism is the entropy of
say it
the.
again.
Pluto!
Now, everybody goes, oh, what the heck? Why'd you demote Pluto from planet to dwarf planet?
yes.
And I
Whack.
can't help but agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So basically, they had an idea in mind to make Pluto not a planet, and then they changed all the rules to make it fit their space-based agenda.
Celestial identity politics have gone too far.
Not
That's all I
identity
say.
politics.
Yeah, exactly. There's 3 rules for a planet.
Okay.
Number 1, it must orbit a star. Okay, very good. We're all on board for that, and that's one of the old rules.
Okay.
That's fine. I can accept that. Asteroids, not planets.
Boom.
Number 2, it must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical shape.
Okay.
Agreed. That's a brilliant one.
Fine, I'll accept that. But if we see a cube planet at some point, then I feel like we will need to revisit this rule. But as it
Right,
stands, fine.
Yeah, if there was something as big as Earth but somehow cube, they'd change the rules again. Yeah. Now the new rule they
Cube
brought
Earth.
in was it must be big enough that its gravity clears away any other objects of similar size in its orbit.
Bullshit.
What?
That is a very specific rule.
Y'all telling me that they really made rules to try to exclude Pluto? That's fucked up.
Just designed to
Racist as
persecute
fuck.
Pluto.
Who came up with this rule?
Well, it was a big
You and these 3 fucking dorks. And look, here's your guys. Here you go.
Fucking-
These are them.
It's a fucking conspiracy.
committee made up of the
like
deep
redlining.
space state.
The deep space
And
state.
one of the reasons that they essentially made this rule was because, well, Pluto actually has a moon that's almost the same size as
Right.
Pluto. So Pluto wouldn't even just be one planet, it would be like several planets. But also, out in the Oort cloud, there are probably similar sized planets to Pluto.
Correct.
But hundreds, maybe thousands.
I see.
And so actually, even in our own given solar system, there would be thousands of them. So what they're running into
What's
is a
the
naming
problem?
Because, well, we can't teach kids that there are thousands of planets.
You don't
Yeah,
need
you
to.
can. Yeah. Okay, turns out there are thousands of planets, and a lot of them are really boring
Right,
and far
it
away.
doesn't matter.
Okay, but here's the main 9.
Yeah, here's the big 9. Why don't you just call them the...
Just do the same thing when teaching kids about the planets that you guys do with history.
I thought you were going to say do with them like you do with anime.
Only talk about the big 3.
It's the big 3 versus the big 9. Then we could debate what's the real Pluto. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
only talk about history. Just like how Americans don't learn shit about anybody else's history.
That's pretty true.
unless it pertains to the U.S.
Yeah, there's thousands of different cultures out there. This is how America affected all of them.
And this is the best one.
And we were right. Every single they ever tell you go read a history book and you do it and you read it and be like, we just fucking lied.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
They go do that. Do you remember that thing that happened? We're gonna ignore it and you're gonna tell what I just made up.
You know what I just learned?
Sure.
Okay, so you know how when they talk about Thanksgiving, whatever, they talk about, what's that guy's name? Squanto?
Right.
Okay? And they were like, oh, he just happened to know English. And so then he was like the broker of peace between like the Native Americans and the Pilgrims.
I've heard
right? That. No. You know why he knew English? Because he was taken captive.
He was a slave.
What?
Did you guys
What?
Now, slave is a harsh word, and a lot of people might get irritated about that, but he didn't do it willfully. So whatever you want to call that.
He was a captive.
Whatever, yeah. Yeah, they forced him to.
I'm so tired.
Okay.
And far away. Okay, but here's the main 9.
Yeah, here's the big 9. Why don't you just call them the big planets and the small planet?
The big 9. That's what I call. That's what I call my. That's what I call my husband's penis.
you couldn't even fucking. I started face scratching. You couldn't even get it out.
I thought you were gonna help me.
Oh no, suffer in your own impotence, wife.
Not impotence.
Play. But here's the main 9.
Yeah, here's the big 9. Why don't you just call them the big planets and the small planets and be done with it?
There's also a couple of objects in the Kuiper Belt, I think, that would suddenly qualify as planets. So Ceres would suddenly become a planet.
Ceres? What even is Ceres?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ceres. Oh, okay. But that's clearly a moon. It looks like a moon.
Yeah, it's a moon.
Well, it's not what it looks like. It's how it acts, isn't it? It's in the orbit between Mars and Jupiter.
Oh, what? Why don't we just make Ceres a planet?
Yes,
instead.
Absolutely.
To be honest, I'm just going to show my ignorance a little bit. I've never heard of Ceres before. In a way, I feel like you've just made this up to make me look strange. Wait, what's make?
Maki.
Maki. Is that a type of sushi?
Make.
Yeah. Okay. It's another planet that's just further out.
Oh, I love it.
That's how I would say
Cute.
I mean, it's a dwarf planet, but
Why does one of them have boobies?
that's fine.
Oh my god!
There's no need for that. Come on.
Eris. Oh, it's a dwarf planet as well.
I'm learning new things here.
Well, no more learning. It's time for some answers,
Give me
damn it.
answers. Okay. That was great.
Big question time.
I love that.
Ordinary things.
Yeah.
Are there any aliens?
No.
Yes.
All right. Is the universe infinite?
Yes.
It's like a bike wheel. Technically, it's infinite, but you just end up where you were in the first place.
That's good enough for me. Is there a god?
Yes, and it's me. Suck my...
There we go. Will we ever find out all of the mysteries of the universe?
No.
What if we already have...
I'll tell you what it is. The real
good
answer is love.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all you
Our
need.
friendship.
Space or love, which is bigger? And if you could only have one, what would you have?
What about space love?
Is that like 0G shagging?
Mass
Yeah, or
Effect.
where you're on the moon and someone says like,
Oh, I love you.
it's like kind of non-committal and they don't really hear you on the radio and you go, what? And they go,
Oh, nothing. Over.
What if you're on the moon and then they go in to kiss and then they accidentally shatter their space helmets?
no. Like two people vigorously doing cheers.
Yes. Moon love turns to moon tragedy.
Damn,
You know,
that's
it must happen all the time.
Oh my god! Then they end with them dying. The end.
All right, there's 2 things that I
Sure.
want to say about
Okay.
this video.
Okay.
1, I really liked that they had the glasses of whiskey floating.
Mhm.
That
The whole time. They really committed to the space
It
bit.
was like they were moving, not just like they were, they had them moving,
Yeah.
bobbing up and down.
Yeah.
2, this whole video just reminds me of the fact that the guy who played, what's his name? I don't know, the main character in Star Trek, but the show, what is his name? Anyway, William Shatner went up into space. He got to go up into space,
Yes.
right? And he came back down, and he was so
Depressed,
sad.
right?
He was
Most-
having an existential crisis.
So first off, people train to go to space like their life dream, and they train
Yeah.
for a very long time.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it. You're not ready just to go up there and try it out.
Yeah.
And the reason they stop letting just people go all the time, because the after effects, like that feeling of being tiny, takes your brain and just shatters whatever view, whatever you think
Yep.
it's like. You feel insignificant, and it's quiet. They don't fucking play music. It takes a really long time.
Yep.
It's just you and your thoughts in the vastness of space, and it will fuck you up.
And he said he was like looking at Earth. He was like, this is it. This
Yeah.
is all there is. This is all we have. We're destroying it. Like he was
Yeah.
distraught. And I'm like, nobody ever talks about that when they talk about going into space.
Mhm.
They always talk about like, oh, it'd be so cool and go to the stars. We're going to colonize Mars. And it's just like, okay, but what if we don't? What if we just get into space and realize there's nothing there?
That's just nothing, dude. It's just a bunch of nothing. You think life sucks now? Be in the vastness of space where you have to monitor your resources and eat reprocessed insect bars. Your life is gonna suck. So those are your two things?
That's it.
Things.
Go ahead.
First of all, internet story and laugh, very infectious in this fucking video. It was so good. Like, it was so good.
I liked it.
The editing as a bonus thing was in particularly very detailed for this video.
Yes.
And it was really nice for incognito video, man. It actually went really, really hard.
Yep.
And there was one other thing at the start of the video where I really hope that we can read.
2 times.
Right here, I got here the first time.
We cannot read that. You absolutely cannot read that.
I was hoping it was a big paragraph, like a fan fiction or something.
You cannot. They just took a picture and put it there.
Okay, damn it. This was such a good screen to me. Like, I just really liked this one, the little TV and stuff. It's basic, I know, but I really thought that said something. Well, anyways, those are my things then.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that it has given you some food for thought, but I hope it doesn't send you into a depressive spiral. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. Also, feel free to head on over to Chavezz's channel for a CJ the Champ video. That's what we're going to be doing. So, other than that,
universe, you know?
Other than that, peace out, hope biscuits. It's Skittin' Lit.